So let's start with Def Leppard Adrenalize. When this album was released, I hated it so much. I was like, this has got to be the worst Def Leppard album ever released. And then they released the next one, and then I said, okay, this one maybe it's not so bad. Much like Pour Some Sugar on Me, Let's Get Rocked. Garbage. Stupid song. There's a couple good songs on here, but overall this is just a lame attempt to create another Hysteria, and they failed horribly at it. I thought. Of course, by this point, Steve Clark is dead. He's an alcoholic. He just drank himself to death. Sad to say, tragic loss of a very talented musician, songwriter, all intents and purposes seemed like a really good dude. Drugs and alcohol are bad, guys, gals. If you don't have control of your stuff, you will die. I mean, unless you're a pothead, you can't overdo on pot because, trust me, I know. But if you drink all the time, or if you use hard drugs all the time and never stop, you will die. As simple as that. You will die. And I know this because I tried like hell for a long time to die on alcohol. And I don't drink anymore. So, but I felt a really big loss when Steve Clark passed away. For a while I was a pretty solid Def Leppard fan. When Pyromania came out, man, that was a big album. And it was around the time when I was really starting to get into a lot of different bands than what I had grown up on. Quiet Riot, Twisted Sister, Def Leppard, all those bands from the early 80s just defined my elementary school years. I mean, I know it might be weird to talk about that I was so young and so into music, but I mean, even in early grade school, I was already deeply fascinated by music. When I say that music has been a part of my life all of my life, I ain't shitting you. I mean, I even remember when I was a little kid, before we even moved to North Carolina, that music was part of our lives. Mom and Dad both loved music. And it wasn't just casual fans of music. Mom and Dad went to shows. They bought records. They listened to music on a regular basis. So music is my life. There's nothing on this planet that is more important to me than music. I love my cats. I love my family. I love my friends. What few I have left. But music has been the best friend I've had all my life. It's been the only consistent friend all my life. And that's why it's so important. And that's why I spend so much time listening to music. That's why I spend so much money listening to music. That's why I collect music. Because music has always been my best friend. It's always been there for me. Saved my life. It's added to my joy. It's added to my sorrow. It's added to my anger. It's added to my pain. And it's salved all those things too. Music, Frank Zappa said music is the best, and he is absolutely right. Music is my life, and that's what I do. And it's so important to me. So getting to share this stuff with you guys is on par with sharing my soul with you. Doing this is more important to me than telling you silly stories about my life, because this is my life. Everything I did in my life was surrounded by music. You know, there's a great King's X song called Over My Head. Music, music. I hear music. I hear music over my head. You'll appreciate it that I didn't sing that. But it's true. I hear music all the time. I hear it in my head. It's everywhere. Because it's that important to me. So, enough of that. Let's listen to this crappy album. Leppard Adrenalize.